Hi there, everybody, and welcome to this week's installment of Reveal's weekly webinar. My name is Graham, and I am going to just be running through a quick feature review today, but I'll explain a little bit more about what that is and how that looks once I share my screen in just a moment. As always, feel free to jump in and ask any questions you like. We have Andrea on the back end here to assist with any questions you might have, as well as says my mic sounds weird. Is this better? Does that work? Is that a little better, Matt? It's cutting a bit. Okay, that's good. Fantastic. So as I said, feel free, if anybody is out there, please go ahead and put any questions you have in the chat, and we'll be able to address them as we go through. Okay, so today, this is the Reveal Weekly webinar. We're going to be going over a feature review, as I had said. My name is Graham Hutter, and I am from Reveal's services team. Now, what we'll be covering today is a feature review. As I had mentioned, it is the directory walkthrough. Now, this is a very powerful tool that is going to be able to help you build out your partnership ecosystem, as well as establish, vet, and make new connections with new partners all throughout the Reveal network. And of course, after I run through this, we will be able to have some Q&A session as well, just afterward. So let's get into it. This is what our directory looks like, and I'll come from our homepage here. It's as simple as going 2 down from the top on the left navigation bar here and clicking into the directory. Now, as this part is part of our demo, we only have 110 fake companies to work with here. But in the real world, the actual Reveal directory has over 10,000 different companies, all listed throughout. Now, this can be viewed sort of as both I think of it sort of as a social network, but also as a phone book for any potential new partners you might have on Reveal. So this is extremely powerful, but of course, 10,000 companies is a lot. That's a lot to pick through and to find out who might be the best partner for you to start building out your partnership ecosystem. And so we've added a couple of filters just to make the process a little bit easier so you can find exactly who you would want to partner with in a much more effective manner. Of course, we talk a lot about having an ICP, an ideal customer profile, when it comes to account mapping. But here with the directory, we can also refer to this as an IPP, or an ideal partnership profile. And these are based off of a few basic parameters. So of course, we have the company name. We also have our company type, ecosystem, a new feature we've added recently called market presence, as well as a relative account overlap and contact overlap. So using these 6 parameters, we can identify which partners are going to be the most effective and broadly be able to facilitate the most lucrative partnerships for you as you move forward. Now, we wanted to identify and filter through these particular 10,000 companies I'm talking about here. Using these parameters, it's important to note that these parameters are given when you sign up on Reveal. And so sometimes it's dependent on a pick list. And so some companies identify one way or another. So it may be worth having multiple in there while you're searching, specifically if you're looking for an individual particular partner that you might want to work with. So in order to do this, we can click into these filters, say we want to work exclusively with software vendors in the, let's say, IT and administration world. Within this ecosystem, we can then pick up a short list of all the companies that might fit this information. Now, it's also important to note that we do not have a running number of account overlap unless a CRM or other data source is connected into Reveal. So perhaps some of these companies might have, just for example, set up their account, but have yet to connect the data source. And so thereby we won't have this information available. But for those that we do have that information available, we can quickly see exactly who we might want to work with here. Now, I'm going to take just a moment here to run through how to sort of interpret this data. So let's take O'Hara Group, for example, because it's a full display here. We can see as we search for, of course, we have our software vendors in the IT and administrative world. And we can see that they're largely focused on market presence in Sweden. If that's something we want to work with, or we want to otherwise filter out, we can totally do this and reset the search parameters. But what I wanted to focus on right now is account overlap. Now, this is a primary vetting tool for feature, I suppose, for this particular directory feature. This is because it's important to know not only who your competitors are, but also who your potential most lucrative partners are going to be. So if we have a partnership overlap that is over, say, 50% of accounts that you're sharing, that might be something to look for in a, like, that may be a direct competitor of yours. If 50 plus, let's say 70% of your accounts are absolutely identical between your two CRMs, there's a good chance you're selling to exactly the same people, unless you happen to have a very compatible tool with that person, then you don't otherwise recognize that company. Now, between 30 and let's say 50% is sort of a Goldilocks zone for account overlap when it comes for looking for new partners. Now, this is because you can then you share a certain amount of contacts, but not all of the same accounts. This means that there's going to be a reasonable likelihood of having lucrative accounts to share with one another without it being the entirety of their CRM. Now, what account overlap means, this is a raw number. So if you have, say, 70,000 accounts in your CRM and this partner has, say, 7,000 accounts in their CRM, that percentage is going to be a little bit skewed. But for what we're seeing right now, this is a raw number of exactly how many accounts are shared between your CRM and, in this case, the O'Hara Group. For contact overlap, this means how many of the individual contacts you have together. So this would be the exact same people that, say, your sales team might be trying to reach out to in order to establish a deal. If there's a low contact overlap, it means that they probably know more people at that company than you do, and or different people at the very least. This means that you should, if you were to start sharing information with them on Reveal, you would be able to share different contacts and be able to reach out to more people at that company, thereby likely enhancing the chance of establishing a new deal and closing and winning a deal as we move forward, and likely more than just one. Now, if we wanted to connect with the O'Hara Group, it is as simple as connecting with somebody new on LinkedIn. If you want to, you can hit connect. And if you happen to already know somebody from, let's say, the O'Hara Group, you can put in their first name, last name, and their email, and you can even write a little message for them saying, "Hi, I'd like to connect on Reveal." You'll then be CC'd in an email, and once you send that invite, they will be tagged, and we will be able to start the process of connecting the discussion, start the discussion to start the process for connecting on Reveal and sharing data. If they happen to already be a large user of Reveal and perhaps they tipped you off to this already, there's a good chance they're already set up and you can get things up and running in a matter of minutes within Reveal. If you don't happen to know somebody at this particular account, that's okay too. Because if you know that they are going to be a lucrative partner, let's see, there's a 38%, 36% overlap, and low contact overlap, there's a good chance that that's going to be a pretty lucrative partner to work with. You can send an invite directly to their admins. So you don't have to know somebody at this company. You can write a little message and go ahead and send that email right there. We also generally recommend reaching out to them on LinkedIn just in order to establish a bit of a relationship, but that part is up to you. Now, this is just one way to use the directory. We also have a few other ones. So one of the major reasons that partners in my CRM can exist is because of actually something we talked about a little bit last week, our data source connection. I'm just quickly going to step away from here for a moment to talk about how we define what partners are within our CRM. Now, defining partners from, let's say, Salesforce, but it could be any of the major CRMs, into Reveal is not directly correlated with our account mapping side of things, but it very much helps within the directory when it comes to identifying how we can connect you with more or all of your partners that exist within your Salesforce or other CRM. So if we have these companies identified as partners, in this case, account type could be channel partner, reseller, installation partner, tech partner. We can then come back over into the directory and see which partners, well, you have to reset the reset the filters real quick. See which partners exist within our CRM and whether or not they're already on Reveal. If they are not on Reveal, then we can invite them, which is just the same as sending a connection invite, but a little bit more context is involved with the message. We'll see if this loads for us. But if not, I can come back to that in a little bit. If not, if they're already on Reveal, we can just hit connect. And if they're already one of our partners, there's a very good chance we already have a contact there and we can get this moving and get connected with them on Reveal relatively quickly. If you have partners that you know are not on Reveal, or maybe you don't have them in your CRM or you haven't defined what they are within your CRM, that's no problem at all. Because at the top of the screen at all times, no matter where we are within the platform, you can always also select invite a new partner. And this way you can put in their name, put in some information about them, and we will be able to reach out to them and invite them onto the platform just the same. I've given you a lot of information so far about the directory, so I'm going to take just a moment here and see if there are any questions here before I move on. What happens when there's no country showing for a company? Sure, that is no problem at all. It really is only a nice to have rather than a need to have. Though it does help if you want to know exactly where your market presence is. So what I mean by that, if your company only operates, let's go back over here. If your company only operates, say, in the EMEA market, well, we can filter by that exactly. We can say EMEA and look at only companies we want to pair with that work in the EMEA market. That's fine as well. This works for any of the others as well. LATAM, APAC, North America, etc. Now, if there is no company there, then we don't know exactly where they might be operating, but some companies are broadly global, others are very specific. And so it always helps to reach out and establish some connection with them as well in order to get a better idea of where you might want to be. But the market presence aspect here is very important for companies that might want to break into a new market as well. So if you know you want to establish channel partnerships with a company that is only working in Latin America, well, here's that information for you. And you can make an informed decision as to who you want to be your partner, just using the directory here on Reveal. So this is a very crucial step when it comes to creating your Reveal account and now then building out your partnership ecosystem with Reveal. One other important thing about the directory here, just as a general concept, is that we know for sure that any company that has that little, let me pull up the screen again, that has this little connect button next to it, we know for sure that they are already on Reveal, they are already connected with a data source, and they are already open to the idea of sharing information. And so that takes the primary, initial part of the discussion of what is Reveal, how does it work, completely out of the discussion entirely. It enables you to start and effectively hit the ground running when it comes to establishing your partnerships and starting to share data on Reveal. Are there any other questions for me today regarding the Reveal's directory feature? No? Fantastic. Well, thank you all so much for attending here. My name once more is Graham Hutter, and I'm from our services team. If you ever have any questions or need assistance from Reveal, don't hesitate to reach out on Intercom in the app itself or by pinging my team at help@reveal.co. We're always there. We're around 18 hours a day, 5 days a week, and we're always happy to help. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next week.